All right, so we're gonna get back to some collar sleeve stuff today. We're gonna start by kind of finishing up the warm-up portion of what we're doing. I'm gonna pull guard again and kind of thought process of how we're getting to that position, right? Number one is I have to have a hinge in his hips when I pull, or anytime I'm playing this position, especially if he's standing, right? So if I get his collar and his sleeve, right? I step out to the side, I start to sit, right? I have this to aid in my pull, right? Ultimately in collar sleeve, I need this grip. But when I have this, I want his shoulders pulled down as much as I can. Deep step into his hip bone, okay? I want this shoulder down too. I don't like to let this arm on the inside because he's gonna start working my leg off of me, okay? So hide it here. Now, he has to address this, right? As he makes a grip adjustment, I get my grip here, right? I don't really like to pull with the cross grip, okay? So when I pull here, get connection, make switch. That's where we're at, okay? Here, get to that spot. Also, when I have that hinge and he's leaning down like that, he cannot pass me on that side. The only thing I have to be mindful of is him coming around, right? On the side that I'm on his shoulder, okay? Open. Here, right? No way for him to go around this side, okay? He tries to go around me the other side, right? I'm still good here. He starts to get control here, get my leg off of him, right? And we have other options, okay? We'll talk about that later. Just get to the pull first, and then we'll get into the next part of it. Here, okay? Once we're here, we have our push-pull, and I have his hips hinged, okay? Make sense? All right, try that. 1, 2, 3. All right, next thing. We're gonna talk about maybe, I was going with Dave, and he disengaged, right? So I lost him. I was down, right? So now I'm just seated. How do I get there when I'm seated? I gotta be careful. Most folks in here are not gonna hit you with a flying arm bar, but you can't be stupid about it, okay? So I'm not asking you to try to do that. Okay, so if I lost him, I'm disengaged, right? I need to stay tight, okay? I don't wanna overreach, silly stuff like that, right? Because look at the scenario, I have weight on my arm and I'm reaching, right? It's the kind of stuff Jamie Canuto jumps into your face and arm bars you, okay? So, what am I doing? I'm staying tight in here, right? Posting. Now, this is a scenario that, and I'm gonna have you guys drill this for a minute and then we'll talk about one thing we're gonna add to it, okay? I want him to start to address me. I don't really want him to get this collar first, right? But so as he's working, right, I get it, okay? If he makes a grip, I steal the grip. Here, right? Collar. Here. Use this. Come up with this so you don't fall. Right? So if he has this grip, I can't get this arm outside, right? So I'm gonna push, break, hide. Okay? If I get to make the grip first, which is what you guys are gonna work on. Right, he's trying to come in and address me, I get it. And then now, as see, look what he's doing, he's going to grab the grip, right? So I'm in here tight, I'm not super far away and leaning up, okay? Right here, right? As he's making a grip, here, right? Hold, right? Before he does this, I make my grip, break, here. Does that make sense? Yes, no? Yeah, okay. All right, now, just for a few more minutes, we're gonna do that. You know, break that grip with my foot that's on his shoulder. And then he's gonna try to make a movement, control this leg, and get to the other side. When he does that, we're gonna go half lasso to reestablish his guard. Okay, and then we'll get into the last thing to do. So, I get the grip, he goes to address it. Here, right? So once I'm there, I make grip, he's trying to break, hide, okay? So, get your head up a little bit, okay? Say you grab my ankle or what have you. He starts to push it down, okay? As he moves to this side, go ahead, move to the side. Here. You understand? Once I'm here, this pass isn't gonna happen. Okay, he has to go this way now. Okay, that allows me to push, right? Make grips, right? Adjust. You understand? So throw that half lasso when he gets control of the leg. I want to kind of burn that into your head a little bit. Okay?
Dave, can he drop his left hip down?
Yes.
Passing the side?
Yes. So, right, controls, right, take it off, right, drop the hip down. Okay.
Really can't.
Even if he puts his knees down, it's okay. Right, push.
Oh, there you go. You're just circling with it.
Yes, you understand? Circle it immediately to the shoulder, not the bicep. You understand? So we're gonna grab cross grip if we're seated down here. Just get right into it, all right? Just don't lift up, okay? So we're looking to, you know, like when I roll with somebody like Mark or whatever, like if I'm trying to enter, I'm trying to get lower, lower, lower and closer into that position. I'm not trying to overreach from the top, just as he's not trying to overreach from the bottom, okay? I'm trying to steal that grip real quick. Get in there, they're gonna take the leg off the shoulder, and then you're gonna immediately switch to half lasso. Everybody good? All right, do that. 1, 2, 3. All right, last part. Okay, several people in here I saw too. We can be very proactive about that hand coming up to our ankle. We can do that early, okay? So I make my grip, he goes, I get in here, right? Foot goes here. He starts to go for this ankle, right? Kick, here, right? Start to control it. Circle, here, right? Here. Constantly moving it, right? Here. He's starting to reach for it. He's not going anywhere from here. I'm yanking on this collar, okay? And I won't say I'm pushing that hand. I'm not leaving it right here where you start dropping on my knee, right? Tight. That arm is like flexed against my shin. Does that make sense? Instead of letting him get a grip where he can start to collapse on this leg, right? Even if he does that, he's being super vulnerable because there's a huge gap for me to shoot that leg through, okay? So you can parry or circle that leg inside or outside. We're making circles. Don't retract it because that's giving him motion to drag the leg different directions. Does that make sense? So focus on opening your hip and circling the foot out, pushing it back in, or circling it back to his shoulder. Okay? Versus pulling it in and out.
Okay.
Okay? One time, I'll show you that one time and then we'll get into the last part. Okay? So, he goes to reach. Here. Right? Try to control the inside of my leg. Like you're trying to push it out, right? Right? I can't circle, right? See how I circled inside? You understand? Rather than him grabbing my ankle, right? Got it? Me trying to do this, right? Push it down. You understand? So as soon as he gets his control, even if he tries to push it down, out, here. Do you understand? Don't go this way because he's going to get control and either take it to the floor or take it inside. Okay? Last part. So we're in this position. Right? I make the grip, he makes a grip on me, right? Here. Okay, turn this way a little bit. Okay. So when we're here, his elbow's already exposed. So many people when they're defending this, they spend a ton of effort trying for him to retract his elbow to his hip bone. Right here, right? So this is when we're gonna use our push-pull here, right? So right from this, I like to start going because they get tired, okay? So this is when I might square up just a little bit, okay? So as he's trying to retract that elbow, right, that's tight, I lift, and then as I adjust, I'm gonna lift my hip up, okay? Do you understand? So I'm gonna play with that space with that knee a little bit. I'm trying to get his arm to go past my knee or onto my thigh, okay? Here, right? I can push this out. Here. That's a terrible position for him, right? If he just tries to pick his head up, here, right? I'm already in. And then I can adjust my position, okay? If he's really pulling that elbow, I'm gonna try to increase the hinge and then start stretching that arm away from him, okay? So if he's really pulling on that elbow, turn one. Okay. So he's trying to pull his elbow back into towards his belt, right? Push, pull, right? Start to lift. See how my knee's coming up? I'm anchoring off this. See how I'm more on my back and less on my side? Now here, I'm gonna kick my leg through, triangle the legs. I'm still deep on his collar, you see that? Here, I can switch to the belt. Now I have switch to the tricep grip. Here, come up, hold, and finish. Does that make sense? So that might be when I take my hips towards him, right? And I'm gonna kick my leg through the hole that we've created and then lock that, almost gonna kick into his lat like we were doing the triangle last week, right? One more time. So here, right? He's trying to retract, close his elbow, right? Here I can push out, back. Now, as I lift up, I'm gonna kick my leg through, right at his lat, up towards his armpit. Notice how I'm 90 degrees right now. That's okay, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna control, sorry, and adjust, right? And then we'll come up and finish from there. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna work on, once I can see when that elbow's open, so I know when I can attack, right? He knows that he's just trying to keep it in. So you're gonna have people constantly just pulling, pulling, pulling. I'm gonna adjust, maybe extend him a little bit with that opposite leg, go back to his shoulder, anchor off his shoulder, lift my hips, kick my leg through, and chop at his armpit, right? Right up his lat. Everybody good? All right, finish out on that. 1, 2, 3.